Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. Now this is the week of Christmas, but I'm not doing a Christmas message. I'm continuing on with my Virtues series. And today's virtue is forgiveness. And to forgive means to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. Now that's a fairly decent definition, but I have a different one, and it's a biblical one. Now, what it means really is to let go of all debts. Now, that takes what forgiveness means to be to go a little further than what we normally think of as forgiveness. The Bible treats sin as owing a debt. And when you sin against someone, or you sin against God, or someone sins against you, there is a debt that needs to be paid. And in connection with Christmas, that's why Jesus came. He came to pay the debt for us because it's something we could never pay. Now, I want you to keep in mind that forgiveness does not mean there are no consequences. And we can easily see the results of that. If you commit adultery, it doesn't stop the adultery from happening. If the pregnancy results from that adultery, that doesn't mean the pregnancy suddenly disappears. That person is still pregnant. And you can put any sin in there. If you break the law, you go to jail. Being forgiven of that does not mean you don't face the consequences. So I want to say that right off the bat. So why do we not forgive? What stops us from forgiving? First of all, stubbornness. We plain just refuse to give. I'm not going to forgive that person. That person deserves all of my anger, all of my hate, and all of my bitterness. And we hang on to that for quite a long time. We want others to ask for it or earn it. I won't forgive until, and then once your standards are met, or your demands, whatever you want to call them, then maybe you'll forgive. But ultimately, really, you don't. We don't forgive because we want to blackmail or to carry out some future retaliation. Hang it over their heads for a while. You did this to me, you did that to me, and constantly bring it up. Or try to manipulate them into doing something for us, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to hold this against you for the rest of your life, so I have control over you. Not forgiving makes for better stories. When you don't forgive people, you can tell about how evil and vile this person is because of what they did to you. And it makes your life appear more interesting and gets people to feel sorry for you. And ultimately, we don't forgive because we think the person does not deserve it. And to be fair, no, we don't deserve forgiveness. Forgiveness is a grace thing. Because we are all sinners. We all do things against somebody. We speak against somebody. And we don't deserve forgiveness. But God forgives us, and therefore we should forgive too. And that's one of the reasons we are to forgive. And ultimately, that's the main reason, because God is the one who forgives. And God commands us to forgive. God is the one who sets all things right. In Romans 12, 17 to 20, Romans 12, 17 to 20, God is the one who makes it right. It's not our job to carry out vengeance. It's not our job to get back at people. It's not our job for revenge. God is the one who makes things right. But first, we need to get right with Him and right with each other. We need to forgive because it releases us. Hebrews 12, 14 to 15. Releases us from bitterness. Now see, somebody once put it, bitterness this way. Bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. And we all know that bitterness does nothing but cause you the pain. Forgiveness also releases others. Matthew 6:12. Again, when it comes to doing something against somebody, a debt is now owed. And forgiveness releases the person from that debt. Again, not the consequences, but from the debt of having sinned. And forgiveness also restores relationships. Matthew 6, 14 to 15. And not just relationships with each other, but relationships between us and God. Because God also says, if you are unwilling to forgive others, I am unwilling to forgive you. paraphrased, of course. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.